I went into the Army when I was 17. I did 8 years total. I went in originally as a Black Hawk helicopter mechanic and then unit trained to be a crew chief, which is where you are a crew member on the aircraft. And I did 2 deployments in Iraq, and I also did a year peacekeeping in Egypt. And when I was a crew member on the aircraft, I served in a medical evacuation unit. Being over there, we were always on guard, and we had to be able to go from dead asleep to in the air in 6 to 10 minutes, so you're constantly hypervigilant. When you get back, that doesn't really leave you. I definitely found when I was back, I didn't like people coming up behind me, or I didn't like crowds, not so good dreams. It just kind of definitely changed who I was. Being in the military, and also I was in a very male-dominated field. You don't really admit that stuff's bothering you. I didn't feel comfortable admitting it. It was just something that everyone kind of understood that people dealt with, and you just didn't talk about it. It took me a very long time to come to terms with that maybe I should get help with this. What really triggered it was I had my son, and we had taken him to a fair, and I couldn't enjoy, as a baby, I couldn't enjoy spending time with my family because I felt like I always had to be on guard and watching our backs. And my husband heard about dog tags on the radio, and he came home one day and said, hey, call this number. Because the other organizations, it just didn't seem like a good fit. So we called the number, and we came in for an interview, and everyone was very welcoming.
Good? So we're going to walk this way in a circle just to get him moving in one go.
Most of the other organizations train the dog, and then they give the dog to a service member, and they charge $20,000, $30,000. The difference is we train the veteran to actually train the dog, and we charge them nothing. They have to have been diagnosed by the VA as having post-traumatic stress or traumatic brain injury. And once they've been diagnosed with those, they have to be service-related. Some of them, it is their own dog. But some of these dogs are rescue dogs. And it's just, when that rescue dog and that rescue man or woman, when they're together, you can just see the bonding that takes place, that they don't want to take their eyes off their person. And when that happens, we know it's going to be a fit.
A breeder happened to say, hey, I had a litter of puppies, and you guys can have one for one of your veterans. We bonded with Splash and chose her.
Once a week, they come to us for training.
There's 4 levels, and we're in level 4 now. So we're at the last level. Right now, we're working on more focus in public and stuff, and also task work.
They do different things for different people depending on what they need.
She has multiple tasks. She turns on and off the light for me, so if I have a nightmare, she can go turn on the light. She alerts me if my anxiety from the PTSD starts rising. So she has more than 3 tasks. So, and along with alerting me, she can then do deep pressure therapy by putting her weight on me to make me help calm down. And then tasks for physical stuff, she helps brace, and she helps me with stairs. And she's currently learning to retrieve items for me.
When I see some of these veterans getting their lives back, we have some that they never leave the house. They will not go out. And I guess if you're used to being fired upon, I don't want to go out. I can't do it. So now with the dog beside them, some of the veterans have said, everyone's looking at the dog. They're not looking at me anymore, so it's okay. And they've got their lives back. They can go places, do things, and it's just makes me feel good.
I have noticed, when I'm in public with her, I'm not as on guard. I'm able to focus more on enjoying being out and being with my family. She senses if I get anxious and stuff, and she'll let me know, and she can come up and put her weight on me. There's nothing wrong with having PTSD. I still deal with some embarrassment from it. It's not something I widely put out there a lot of times. But I really feel like getting help is the best thing I could have done, because it's helped me to manage my symptoms and really be able to enjoy life again.